Okay, so the first thing that I have to do is I have to create some sort of boundaries. Because I have so many ideas, restrictions are my friend. They help keep me focused, they help give me a box to work in. Um, and so, yeah, I try to create boundaries. So the first boundary that I create is, who is this for? What am I trying to accomplish? Am I writing this for my wife, for my kids? Is it a worship type thing where congregation needs to be in mind and I'm writing it for God? Am I writing it for myself? Is it just a fun piece? Uh, or am I doing it like I said before? This is a music library and I'm trying to make money. So each of those have a different direction and answer a lot of questions for me. I think a lot of younger composers get this wrong where they make it about themselves and you're writing for yourself all the time. And writing for yourself is great, but that's a certain direction. And so if you're writing for a music library and yourself, it can get confusing because it's like, are you trying to impress yourself with your chord changes, or are you trying to accomplish a piece that someone is going to buy? The second thing that I'm trying to do is, or a second boundary that I'm going to create is the idea of an emotional center. When people purchase or license music, they're trying to accomplish something. They're trying to support their idea, typically with an emotion. And if I don't know what I'm shooting for, the buyer has no idea what you're trying to accomplish. So I have to be very clear of what I'm trying to set out to do. So I'm trying to, with what I'm writing, peace is kind of the word that I'm using. And I've got to be honest, a lot of times it shifts during the process because the emotional center is probably one of the toughest things to do over lots of pieces of music. And then finally, the third boundary that I create is kind of a timbre to stay within. And so, just off the top of my head, the listening that I've done, I like kind of a string infused, key centric type of sound, is kind of where I am right now. I don't like the grand piano that's super verbed out. I think that's a little bit overdone for the genre that I'm trying to be in. And then also I like kind of the high end gritty thing that's on kind of like some a little bit more distorted Rhodes, or it's on some rhythm parts, around like 5K, 8K. I like that texture because it kind of helps punch out and add some interest in these kind of verby type of pieces. Some of you might think, why would you listen to other people's music before you start writing? Aren't you going to be influenced? And like, yes, yes, I will be influenced. The idea that I would create something just completely uninfluenced, honestly, I think is a little bit ludicrous. And I think a lot of younger composers think that way, like, I'm going to do something that's never been done before. We're all influenced. If you're going to create your own tonal structure and not use what's been used for hundreds or thousands of years, good on you. These videos probably won't be helpful. It also just goes against my purpose. Again, I'm writing for a music library, and if I do something that is just totally out there and never been heard before, that's not going to be as helpful for someone trying to work within the established cultural ideas of music. Because again, the music isn't the art in isolation, it is supporting something. And so that idea of just doing something completely separate from everyone else is not going to be as helpful for the goal that I'm trying to accomplish. Yeah. So again, I'm doing this because when I start writing, I don't want to be lost. I don't want to feel like I'm just planking around and not have an idea of what I'm doing. I want to have a clear direction, come in prepared, so that way I can just flow and go. I can just feel things out and just keep moving. Being stuck in writing is the worst. And so I want to avoid that at all costs. And that's why I'm doing all this work.